Hi guys, this is Emily, from Queen MJ's Tarot. If you're new to my channel, welcome. This is just going to be kind of a little overview and a preface to the monthlies that I'm about to start recording. Only because I want you guys to understand a lot of the changes that are going on right now and that will be going on within the month of June, and are affecting. I'm just getting a lot of questions from people I know personally. Right now, we've got Venus in retrograde in Gemini, and I'm going to try to explain that as best I can. I am not by any means super adept at like astrology or anything like that, but I do my research, and so I'm going to try to explain to you guys what's going on as best I can. I even have my notes here, right, so I didn't forget anything. What this means is, okay, so we officially kicked off Gemini season May 21st, I think it was, right? Just a couple of days ago. And Gemini is an air energy, right? And air energy is all about being in your head and thoughts and communication and like really like assessing things, and it's all about thought and communication, basically. Okay, so us being in Gemini season, which is going to be around till about the 20th of June, is going to offer an opportunity to turn our energies outward, okay? That instead of coming from Taurus season, which is usually a time when the collective is more focused on like the body, the five senses, your health, your like environment, like things like very earthy type things, which makes sense because Taurus is an earth energy, right? So now here comes Gemini season, which is an air energy, bringing in lots of communication, socializing. And what I mean by that is also, it could be good communication, but it could be also bad communication. So I think for those of us who tend to be a little, a little quick to maybe alter, to upset ourselves, could maybe take on a little more creative projects, especially now that we're all in quarantine. People are getting on each other's nerves. I know, it's all happening to everybody, but now usher in Venus retrograde on top of Gemini season, and while we're on lockdown, nonetheless, people are going to want to be able to get back together. You're going to want to socialize and feel a little more frustrated because of the limitations that have been put on us with the quarantine thing, right? So you may feel a pull to start calling old friends, or doing anything that involves friends. You may also get a lot of people coming in from the past, and this is particularly what I wanted to talk about, because I'm not going to tell you no, if that's in the past, leave it in the past, because people do change. I don't believe that somebody that just fucked up last week is going to come in 100% different and changed a week later, but people do change. It's on a case-by-case basis, but do be aware that a lot of what's happening is people are sitting at home alone, nothing to do, they're bored, so they start thinking and dredging up shit from the past, maybe finding old pictures. Oh, I wonder what happened to so-and-so. Maybe she's not mad anymore, maybe he's not mad anymore, let me give him a call and see if I can get what I can get, right? So a lot of people are still coming in with the same type of energies, but definitely a lot of situations, could be a situation. I think it's more relationship related, coming in from the past. So be discerning as to who you're going to allow into your energy field anymore. Let's see, what am I forgetting? Venus in retrograde also brings up, projects that you left behind, unresolved issues, unresolved situations from the past, situations that were never discussed. There are discussions that need to be had, and it's gonna have you kind of mentally going, like, combing over those memories with like a fine-tooth comb and like picking pieces apart. I have a friend who calls it recreation of fact. That's what she calls it. When girl, let's recreate the facts, and that's going over details of a situation that happened with a fine-tooth comb. You may find yourself in a place where you're doing this with a lot, especially with relationships, and you're kind of all up in your head about it. This is a very Gemini trait. Gemini and Sagittarius, I know, are going to be most affected by the period. Venus in retrograde lasts from May 13th to June 25th. So literally there's like very little overlap. They're like right here, pretty much right here with each other, you know? So, like I said, lots of communication coming by way of exes, because the planet Venus is about love, right? So if it's going backwards, obviously it's going to bring about old unresolved relationship issues. It can really mess with the emotional stability of yourself, of already existing relationships, of your sense of self, your sense of even style, the way you look, all of a sudden is not going to be good enough for you. I do think that relationships that are already doing well should not really be affected by this. This is speaking on, like, you know, relationships that have issues pre-existing already, because what this period does is uncover things that have been under the surface that you've been trying to keep under the surface, right? Shit we just don't want to address. So this is what's going to come to the surface so that you can address it, because it's time and you can grow and the world is changing and you have to change with it, right? Unless you learn how to deal with what you've already got on your plate, or in your plate, or under the napkin that you threw over the plate to try to hide that there's still something there. Venus and Gemini may also call you to feel a little bit chatty. And what I mean by that is, like, if you're in a relationship and you have like an issue and things always seem like they're blown out of proportion during this time, you may feel the need to vent or talk shit. In other words, yeah, this motherfucker did da 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 da. Can you believe this bitch? And da da da. Don't. This is not the time to do that. Okay, as inclined as you may feel to do that, as angry as you might be, don't. Be careful who you're talking to, who you're telling your business to. Every relationship has problems. There's no reason why it all needs to be put out there. Anybody who tells you they're in a relationship that is completely scot problem free is a fucking liar, and their shit is probably falling apart. Okay. What else? You don't want to lash out also, you know, when you're communicating with other people, or say anything that you wish you're going to be able to take back. So watch how you communicate, watch your anger levels. Instead, what you can do when you're feeling certainly frustrated, if you're not in a place where you can more constructively communicate your point, or nobody's going to hear it at that moment, that's okay. Sometimes to be like, you know what, I'm so angry right now that nothing you say is gonna, I'm not gonna take it in, I'm not gonna process it, so I need my time. And that's okay to take time until you can come back together. But this is a good time to focus on more constructive endeavors. Like I said, this also brings about projects that have been left unfinished, hobbies you haven't touched in forever, things you used to love to do that you just haven't had time for. Now is the time. Find the time, because you're gonna need creative outlets just for those, you know, just to have something to push it out on, you know. If a relationship is good during this time, like I said, it's probably going to be fine. But if a relationship ends during this time, it's probably because it wasn't meant to be in the first place. That was a karmic relationship. And it served whatever purpose it was supposed to serve. So you need to then take a look at what you learned from the relationship, what you took away from the relationship, from the person. Thank the person, you know, energetically. You don't have to call them and be like, yeah, thanks for like coming into my life, dude. No, but like, thank that person energetically and put it out into the universe that you're thankful for whatever lessons they brought into your life. You learned them and you're ready for your next lessons and open, right? Because everyone's not meant to be in your life for good. Let's see, what else? This is going to bring to the forefront a lot of changes, a lot of necessary changes, a lot of big, kind of out of your hands changes. And the way that it forces you to see some of the biggest things that you haven't been able to see is going to force you to speak up on it, right? That air energy, that communication energy, and confront whatever things are stressing you that you've been working so hard to bury and to ignore and to like hope would go away. Okay, Gemini should make it easier using some diplomacy to learn to communicate about these things and these issues in order to resolve them and hopefully move forward. Okay, there's a lot of other changes I want to cover, but I'm going to do that in another video. I just wanted to do this one just so that you guys understand what's happening, why the past is coming back, why you're not communicating properly with certain people, why certain situations are repeating themselves, certain relationships seem to be wanting to repeat themselves. Okay, we've got 2 eclipses in June. The first is on the 5th, and that one's in Sagittarius. The second is on the 21st, and that one is going to be in Gemini. Okay, so these are like huge changes that we have, not only in the world, but like out in the ethers. Okay, there's also a retrograde some point mid-June, like Mercury going into retrograde, which we also know causes communication problems. And I know the sun is going into Capricorn at some point. Anybody who's like adept at astrology and wants to chime in to the comment section below, I would appreciate it, because like I said, I just do the research and I'm trying to pass along the information as best I can, so that you understand kind of the way your readings are working out and the way things are panning out in your life right now. So, like I said, if you're already a subscriber, thank you. I love you. Thank you for joining. Hit the thumbs up button for me so that this can find those who need to hear whatever messages from it. Also subscribe. If you haven't already, hit the little bell icon so that you're notified when I post any new videos, and share the video, get the word out so people understand what's going on. That way maybe they're more equipped to deal with it, and they're not so adept to just give into the first the first thing that triggers them, because that's negative energy being put out there. We already have that out there. We need to make a shift. Like, there has to be a shift, and everybody as a collective has to start bringing up their vibrations. So I hope you guys understood. Emily signing out from Queen MJ's Tarot. Love you all. Namaste. Stay up. Keep your head up. Wear those masks when you go out, because this is real. And I am going to be posting between the next couple of days the monthly readings for all the astrological signs for June 2020, as well as some pick a cards and regular random readings that I decide to just pull out of the air. So hope you guys are doing well, and namaste. I leave you with love and light. Okay, bye.